Okay, cool. Let's get into things quickly. Bill, I've made you co-host as well, and Wendy, if you guys and all the other guys that are here, just help answering questions there. Guys, we're going to be really quickly go through things here. For the purpose of this, what I'm going to do, I've logged into the website, and I'm under this one. If you click on my account, you are now under the Telegram blog posts. So just quickly, now I'm just going to start with this one. This is an update to the blog post 115 to 118. Now, just for those people, there's many people, and I appreciate everybody on the call, but some people say, listen, why do you post these blog posts in such a small font? Guys, there's actually, if you go to your computer on the top right there's a little zoom arrow there. Just for the older people who don't know, there's many people that didn't have the chance to actually get taught and trained in computers. But if you click on that, you can actually make your screen larger, and you can make the font larger by just clicking on that, and it'll actually make the font larger. Okay, so just remember that, and so you can make it small and large. It's not us. We post a certain font. You can change it on your computer. So let's look at the Litecoin 4-hour chart, and then the Litecoin day chart, followed by a Bitcoin update below. Most of all coins are expected to follow the Litecoin chart pattern for the next few days. Now, Litecoin is expected to have a strong move upwards in the green box point C, which is about 104 to 118 range. See there? Now, again, for those people who are new, who don't understand how to read this data, guys, when we say point C in box, many people ask me, but where is point C? We don't see it. You have to scroll downwards. Down is a chart here, and you'll see there is a point C. There's the green box. What we are saying in this call is that Litecoin is expected to have a little bit of a drop, then strongly move upwards. As a matter of fact, more or less a vertical break upwards. Now, at this point, what we then said, this could be a strong vertical break upwards. If this occurs, it will be the final move to complete the Litecoin heartbeat. What we are about to see goes against all trading analysis, Elliott-Wave theory, basic technical chart patterns. It just bugs your mind. So it's actually it's a strange call for me to make, because if I'm wrong with this, I'm going to have a lot of egg on my face. But guys, for Litecoin to break through all these resistance levels, the Python y-axis, that one there as well, all these indicators, it's literally impossible to do it. But if this happens, it's going to be such a big event. It only happened twice in the entire history of 10 years in Bitcoin. I get goosebumps so I just think about it. Now, if this pattern is going to come here and repeat itself, man, it will just be unbelievable. So we're hoping for that. Now, keep in mind that Litecoin still has not touched point A, the algorithm line. And when I say point A, guys, you just go to the chart here, you say point A, and see that line there that goes sideways. That is the line that we've been following the last 30 to 60 days. What I'm saying is that we expected Litecoin to go down between 60 and 55, touch that line there, and then come back up. And you can see it didn't do that. It started turning upwards a little bit earlier. And then we had a bit of a drop here now. I think that drop is over. It won't go lower. We're now going to see upwards momentum the latter part of Thursday into Friday. Watch for a vertical spike. Something must take all altcoins up. That will be if you look at a seesaw. Now, Bitcoin was on the upper side of the seesaw and the altcoins on the bottom. The tide is about to turn. This is the pain, like a birth pain, where altcoins will break free. And after 15 September going into October, bang, the altcoins will start to outperform Bitcoin, guys, by far. So keep in mind, for Litecoin to break upwards, it must break every single algorithm average. And then, so this is when I say a 4-hour chart, guys, just for the new people, have a look here. You'll see there's a 4. It says a 4-hour. Now, and I also say a short-term 4-hour. Some people were asking me, but which chart is the 4-hour? Which chart is the day chart? Guys, look, I'm saying it very politely. I'm not running a kindergarten. If I wanted a kindergarten, I would have bought one and then had a kindergarten. All of us here must really take responsibility for yourself. You know, by asking me which chart is the 4-hour, which chart is the day chart. I mean, come on, you know. You must have a certain sense of what is happening in the crypto world. You must be able to read a little bit of charts. If you don't know how to do it, we will spend time with you. We don't mind to do it. Okay, so just get me right on that side there. We are here to help everybody. But common questions, you really need to sort it out yourself. Here it says very clearly, Litecoin day chart. Okay, the Litecoin day chart gives us a little bit of a larger view, a bird's eye view. The ABC line is the heartbeat move, and we expect this to play out with Litecoin touching 104, 108. If I say the heartbeat move, there's A, there's B, A, B, C. See that A there, B, C? It is probably a little bit confusing because we've got another ABC here, that pink line there. But if you follow us on the live webinars every week, you'll know that we've been talking about the ABCDE move. The ABCDE move is always the algorithm pattern that we use. And we've used that since the beginning of January, or from 15 December 2018, and you're going to see these ABCDE patterns play out every single time. So we expect Litecoin touching 104, 108. Notice Litecoin is expected to stay at this level for a few days, then drop back into 65 to 85 range. What I'm saying is that Litecoin is expected to break out upwards. It forms kind of like a BART, B-A-R-T. If you don't know what it is, it's just Bart Simpson, just his head, more or less. But it forms a upwards move there. It's going to drop once, come back up again, and then fall into D. And here after 15 September, going into the end of September, we are going to have that move upwards. And what I also say here, guys, is reminder that we follow the pattern and not the date or timeline. Dates are being distorted and manipulated, but eventually the pattern will play out. If you look back at the last 60 days, notice the pattern we predict is 100% accurate, but time or date is off. I would actually say the trend line. The trend line upwards is always correct. Therefore, as mentioned before, follow the algorithm pattern in this blog post. There is going to come a time here after October or going into October that timelines will come back again and they will be correct. You'll notice that every single analyst, every single one on YouTube, completely confused because they can't figure out the date. And we said that 60 days ago, we said we can't figure the dates out anymore. And they're only catching up now. But there is going to be a time that dates will be correct. Now, that's why we follow the pattern. And then we go into Bitcoin, and we have a little bit of a cheat sheet here. One guy said to me that he's confused because I'll tell you where he said I'm confused. He was confused. That should make sure nobody else is confused. This is a cheat sheet that I am using. Now, what I'm saying is Litecoin, using some dollars to trade, not the entire stash. Maybe you can use $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, depending on how much money you have. On the first high for Litecoin, I'm going to sell 100% at 104 range. I'm going to sell out. Then I'm going to put it into a stable coin and place buy orders as low as 65. I'm expecting to buy between 65 and 85. I buy it back. Then I ride Litecoin back up to 104, 118 range. Then sell and exit Litecoin. Now, at this point here, the guy said to me, but I thought you said that Litecoin is going to go to 1,000% rise. And why are you selling and exiting Litecoin? Guys, we're not selling Litecoin. This is a small interim trade. As you can see on the chart here, we say we sell at the top there, you know, and then we exit because we wait for the drop here because there's the big 1,000% move is coming. Just give it some time. You know, nothing in the crypto world happens very quick. Nothing. what happens very quick is a drop. Drops happen very quick, but upward moves, it takes a bit of time. And I'm going to explain to you by going to Litecoin and Bitcoin what is going to happen here. Let's go to the Litecoin day chart. Now, you will notice here that on the day chart, we predict that we are going to have a big spike upwards. Now, again, guys, as I say, this goes against every single trading analyst, technical indicator, whatever. Simply because a lot of people are looking on the day chart and they say, but this is a death cross. And if you look back here, can you remember this? This was the golden cross that people were talking about. And they said as soon as this golden cross comes and, you know, the 20 move or the 50 moves above the 200, I think, then there's a big strong move upwards. And this is what happened here with Litecoin. Litecoin went up. And then Litecoin fell through. See that green line there? It fell through and came down right here to the bottom. Now we've got a death cross because it's just the opposite. So that's why a lot of people are calling for cryptos to do this. Still go down. And they reckon that Litecoin will still go to $20 and then move upwards. Okay. Now, if you look at, let me just bring that in. Now, if you look at this line here, what is going to happen here, guys, is that this one here is simply just going to do this. And this one here is going to simply just do that. And it's going to go upwards. And then we have the uptrend confirmed again. What is happening with Bitcoin and cryptos right now at the moment is, like I said, imagine a seesaw in the park. Bitcoin is on the high end, Litecoin and the altcoins are on the bottom end. We are just now seeing the change in direction, and it's going to happen very quickly. Litecoin is not going to go to $20. And if it does, I'll buy a heck of a load of Litecoin because then it will go up again. We don't see that. There is a probability of a small percentage that altcoins and Bitcoin can all drop and Bitcoin go to 2,000 and lower. But guys, it's such a small percentage that we don't see it. But remember this, we are not ignorant. We don't push that aside and say it's never going to happen. We are vigilant, we stay the course, and we never ever say that Bitcoin or altcoins has hit a low. Remember prominent people in the world? You know, I've made that mistake last year and the year before many times. Remember there's people here that said all over YouTube, I called the low, look how good I am, you know? And this is now the ultimate low for Bitcoin. Those same people called this low as well, the low in Bitcoin. The same people called that low too. And I was one of them last year where I made a failed call. I actually came out and said that this is the ultimate low for Bitcoin. And I'll never ever do that again. I've learned my lesson. Bitcoin went up and we came here to that point there and it dropped. And at least we foresaw that because when Bitcoin didn't break out there, we knew there's something wrong. But let's focus on where we are now. We are never ever going to call that 3125 the low. And I've said that multiple times, you know. But will Bitcoin break down? No, Bitcoin won't break down. Let's go back to Litecoin. Will Litecoin break down to $20? No, it's not gonna happen. I want to put your mind at ease there. What we see in our data, and look, if I'm wrong with this call, then I'm wrong. But I have to give you the data as what my algorithm shows it. It goes against my grain of thought as well that Litecoin is going to break out upwards here, a strong 100% move, and then form that move and then drop into D and then go back up, and we're going to break 1,000% move in Litecoin. But guys, this is what we see. Now, if this C point here completes over the next 24, 72 hours over this weekend, then that confirms that the heartbeat is done. And then guys, if this is formed, then I can assure you the 1,000% move in Litecoin is going to happen. So we're anxiously waiting for this move upwards here. Let's get into Litecoin quickly on the 4-hour chart. And I'm going to show you what we see here. So this is the 4-hour chart. We're right there on the bottom there now, exactly as I thought we're going to do. And I'm going to show you what happens next year according to our data. And look, guys, I never like to do this because I don't like day trading. Day trading is the quickest way where you can lose your money. In all honesty, guys, if there are people here doing day trading, you have to be very, very smart. Not everybody can actually day trade. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to mute everybody there. They're all quiet again. Okay, so just for those people who want to trade, you're going to see that this is the low there for Litecoin. But you're going to have another low probably here at around about 6 in the next probably 24 to 48 hours. What is going to happen is that you're going to have in the next hour, you're probably going to see another move upwards. Then you're going to see another move upwards that will head into most likely a little bit higher, just a touch higher than that little bit there. And that point there is about 70, 71. And I'll tell you now why I'm mentioning this to you. Then what's going to happen is there's going to be a drop. It's going to come down. It's going to go up again a little bit higher. This is what we see on the 4-hour. And then you're going to have maybe a big spike downwards right down to that point there. And when you see that, expect a big strong move upwards. It'll just literally break upwards like a big spike. We barely get spikes in altcoins like this, but we see a big spike, like you're going to literally see it just spike upwards. Not as skew as I draw it, but let me just remove that. The reason I show you this is because if you want to maybe sell there at $17 and then come back there and put your orders in at 64 or 65, you can buy it a little bit lower, just farming one more time. But nonetheless, guys, don't do it if you're not savvy. Okay, so anyway, we see Litecoin break up. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is most likely going to follow the chart patterns of Litecoin. You can see here that we've got a very large bull flag, or you can call it a symmetrical triangle, or you can call it a channel. It's just really up to you what you want to call that. But what is going to happen here is that we are going to have a breakout here into this level here, and I'm going to show you what we see. Just getting closer there. Now, Bitcoin is one of the most difficult coins to analyze at this moment. For the last 34, 35 days, it's done complete opposite of what it should do. One of the reasons you probably saw about 2, 3, 4 hours ago on Coinbase, Bitstamp, and Bitfinex, these wallets that we follow, as soon as Bitcoin went to 10,600, these wallets were selling Bitcoin at 10,550. Go in and have a look at the past orders. Row after row after row, 0.5 Bitcoin, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, numerous 0.5 Bitcoins. That, guys, is pure manipulation. Who in their right mind want to sell Bitcoin now? Who in their right mind wants to sell Bitcoin lower than what the price is on the exchanges? And furthermore, to be able to do it, you must have an insider in Coinbase who goes and sets those orders. That's why Bitcoin is manipulated. As a matter of fact, the crypto market should have broken out already. Somebody is holding it back. And the more I look into cryptos, the more we understand that, we more realize that they're trying to hold the lid on cryptos. Guys, there's so much turmoil in the world. Bitcoin should have been at 70 or 80,000 now. Altcoins should have been staggering high. The people that do this, they know it. This is why gold is moving. This is why silver is moving. This is why negative interest rates are coming into the market. There's turmoil in the world, and they're trying to put the lid on Bitcoin. Now, I believe, this is fully what I believe here now. If you look at Litecoin, remember that I said that Litecoin has to break through all these technical indicators. I think Litecoin is going to have a day in the sun in the next 72 hours. And it's going to break upwards, and that's going to pull all altcoins back, and it's going to break that stronghold that we have on Bitcoin. But let's have a look at Bitcoin now. I believe that with this push upwards is that we are going to, let me just zoom in there and we can see that a little bit better. See this high point here of 6 August 2019, that high point there. I believe that Bitcoin is going to do this. It's going to start moving upwards here, very strong move, and it's going to head right into that high point. Let me just move this aside. And then it's potentially going to come back and drop right back to this level here of 11,000. Going to go sideways, trying to break out here, something like this, and then here by probably after the 15th, forget about the date and timeline here, you know, but just after the 15th, going into the end of October, we're going to have a strong breakout here. Something similar to that. It may be shorter lived, it could be here, but this pattern that we have, this pattern, just follow the pattern, that's going to play out. Now, the reason I say that it's going to go up to that high point there and then drop back, it will do that because of Litecoin. If you look at Litecoin, Litecoin is about to spike upwards. Imagine this line here, that line there. I'm just going to show you what we see in Bitcoin. That is the line there. There we go. There's that line in Bitcoin. Okay. Let me just put that back. Now, so that line there, we break through that line, and that's what Litecoin does as well. Stay a little bit on the top there, then drop back and go sideways and then break out. Litecoin similar. There's the point for Bitcoin. It's going to break through that point, through all the technical indicators, go up there, come back and retest this low, go sideways and go upwards. So in regards to Bitcoin, just for those people who ask about the percentages, let's just quickly have a look at the percentage gain that is possibly, that could possibly be made. And remember that high point there, that is about 12.3, 12.4, 12.5. In regards to Bitcoin, from this bottom point there, we believe that it's going to make this. Remember the 30, the 29, 30, and 31% in that range. That is Bitcoin's favorite. Okay. And then what happens is when it does that, remember from the beginning of the year, if you, let me just show you an example here, probably. If you go back and you have a look at this, see this one here, that's about 32%. So it always does these 32% jumps and very close to that. You know, when it comes down to the bottom here again, this one here is a little bit lower, that's about 26. So in that range. And let's have a look at this one here from that one there to about that point there. There you go. Can you see what I mean here with the 30% jumps that it does? Okay, so this could be something similar. I'm just trying to analyze what's happening with Bitcoin, you know. So this could be similar that we get that 30% rise again, it stops, and then we get another 30% rise as we go higher. But what I can tell you is that we definitely see a rise in the price here. That X leg there has moved on, I believe, to this point here. So this is still your X. Let me just take this out here just to clean up the screen a little bit. That is still your X leg that it's going to form. It's going to form a Y leg and it's going to form a Z leg up to this level here of, I think, I can't remember the figure now, but I think it was 19666 from memory, till it hits that level there of 19666. So that's 17, yeah. So guys, this is still due to form. And we watch the altcoins because Bitcoin will follow the altcoins. Bitcoin is not the leader at this moment. Now, if you hold Bitcoin, that's fine. It's not a problem. Remember what I said here, what I plan to do. I'm trading Litecoin. And then once, by the end of September, going into October, I'm going to convert 90% of my Bitcoin into altcoins. So by the end of this month, closer to that point, maybe the 24th, whenever you see where Bitcoin has run out of steam, that's when you move to altcoins. It may actually be maybe a little bit in October, depending on how we see this play. What I want to see in Bitcoin first is I want to see the completion of this leg here, the Y leg. If this happens, and it may be, as I say, by the end of September going into October, once I see that strong move upwards, I'm going to convert all my coins into altcoins, because the change of Bitcoin dominance is going to happen. And let's quickly go to the Bitcoin dominance. I'm here on the daily chart. You can see here that we said we expect about 73, or 74% round about that. And if I zoom into that, you can see that it's almost there. It could go a little bit higher to about 74, to about that point there, before Bitcoin starts dropping in dominance. Guys, Bitcoin has run out of steam. If you look at the larger view picture, you look at this, your 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You look at your 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't go higher. It must change. As I say, it can go to a little bit more, but who cares where it goes? 74, 75. The point is, it's on the point of a turn. And now, remember, between 4 and 5, we also need to have 5 waves, and let's just quickly count that. You look at that as 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly just 5. And so it's very near to breaking down. What's going to happen is that Bitcoin dominance will go down, and then your altcoins is just going to do the opposite. The altcoins will do something like this. So if your portfolio, to understand it in terms of what I explained, Bitcoin dominance, if your portfolio now is worth, for example, 10 Bitcoin, what I mean with Bitcoin dominance falling is that your altcoins will go up in value. And if you look back in 3 or 4 months from now, instead of having 10 Bitcoin, your portfolio may be double that. You may have 20 Bitcoin. So that's all it means. So in terms of Bitcoin, you'll have a lot more Bitcoin. The dollar value will take care of itself as the market moves upwards. So guys, I'm more than happy to open for questions. Just quickly going through gold. You can see here that gold is a little bit of a turn downwards, but eventually we believe it's going to follow that pattern upwards to that high point here into next year, which is about 1.8. And we look at silver. Silver still very, very strong, a bit of a pullback there, but eventually we believe that silver is going to go up. I would really like to see by the end of this year that we have a 3-digit. For that to happen, something extraordinary must happen, not necessarily a financial crash. Remember this, guys, a lot of people in the world are calling for the next big financial crash and everything will be destroyed. Our data doesn't see that. Our data sees prosperity. Gold goes up, silver goes up, the world stock markets go up, Bitcoin and cryptos go up. There's not going to be a housing crash. I know I'm probably the only one in the world saying this, guys, but I can't find anybody that agrees with my theory. So, but I can tell you this in all honesty, we just do not see a huge financial crash. So now we beg the question and we say, okay, but what will drive the price of gold and silver up? I believe it's just purely hyperinflation, hidden hyperinflation. Guys, think about this for a second. There is so much money in the world. How can there be a financial crash? All they will do, and this is what the Fed in America is doing now, we've got evidence that they have now started QE4. They're printing money like crazy. They've not come out yet and acknowledged it, but they are buying the stock markets. They're buying Apple, the FANG stocks. They are propping the stock markets up. The Fed is the biggest investor in the world stock markets, and they will keep doing it forever. All they need to do, think about this now. They, instead of printing money, they don't even have to print money. All they do, they change a figure in a computerized system. They are also a cryptocurrency. Why? Because they can simply change it on a computer and create money out of thin air. Backed by what? By nothing. If you and I do that, we'll go to jail. But they can do whatever they want. This is why, you know, the stock market may have a drop. But if you look at the world stock markets now, the Dow Jones, it may have a drop, but it's going to come back up and eventually it's going to go to 40,000 and 60,000 Dow. This is what the future looks like, not a financial crash. This is why I said from the beginning of the year, we don't see this happening. We see prosperity and people are going to make a lot of money in cryptos. I've had the privilege over this week to have a look at data. Something, guys, that it gives me goosebumps if I just talk about it. The future of the internet will not even be run on telecom lines. Satellites up in the moon and around our globe, not even. It's old style. The new internet doesn't even need a telecom line. When you're in close proximity of an electrical cable, you can go and stand in front of someone's house and there's electricity cables and you will have blatantly fast internet, 1,000 times faster than 5G. 5G is already old news. It hasn't even been rolled out. But the principles of 5G, that's where it's going to go. You can be in the middle of the Sahara Desert. As long as there's an electrical cable in the ground or above you, you will have internet. Crazy, as crazy as it sounds. So anyway, I can't get into too much detail of that. But one of the other things is also, guys, your current computers that we use, the fastest iPhone, the fastest smartphone, is too slow for the internet that's coming. As crazy as it sounds. It's unbelievable. The strings, the computer coding, and I know a little bit about computer coding. The computer coding that we see today, and if many of you are computer coders, you'll know how vulnerable the coding strings are. They're too long, they're too boggy-like, there's too many faults in them. The new string, guys, the new coding that I've seen is not, it's like hieroglyphics. It's not even an alphabet or a numerical code. It's something out of this world. Literally, it looks like it comes from an alien nation. It's unbelievable. It's a new language that you will have to learn, like certain elements, how it looks. And it's not even big, long coding. It's unbelievable. In my opinion, it's going to make Microsoft obsolete, the software, because it will be free to everybody in the world. Computer companies like Microsoft, unless they change, will have a very big problem. You will have similar types like Word, Excel. You'll have those kind of stuff, but way better. And I wish I can get into more of the other things, guys, but this is all. The reason I'm telling you this is because this is where cryptocurrencies are going. And trust me, these things have not been thought out in the last year or two. They've been thought out and being developed 20 and 30 years ago, before the internet was even born. Guys, there's something happening in the world, and you know, Cliff High, I've listened to some of these things and I went and, man, this guy is wacko. But man, this guy, you know, I think he's very smart with these technologies. You know, we've had this technology for years and years. Now think about this now. Cryptos was not an afterthought. Cryptos is planned to work with this new technology. And from what I hear is that this technology will be rolled out in coming, they will start doing it in the next 3 years. Now, in Brisbane, there's a company where I live. There's a company that's already testing certain things in relation to that. It's got to do with your cryptos connecting to your DNA. Guys, unbelievable stuff. In the future, nobody will be able to hack your cryptos. It will be impossible. as weird as it sounds. But anyway, the reason I mention this to you is because cryptos are not dead. Cryptos is just in the beginning phases. Although we've been around for about 9-10 years in Bitcoin, 5-6 years in Digibyte, there's big things coming. And one of the reasons, guys, this is why I'm adding Theta to our model portfolio as a coin that you need to pay attention to for the future. So with Theta, I can't really tell you exactly what's going to happen with Theta at this moment short term, but long term, this is something really to look at. Now, what you can see from Theta is that we could potentially, just for those people who asked me, we could potentially have a very big move here in Theta coming. And I want you just to pay attention to that. You know, if this breaks out, remember that all coins are expected to break out. We could see that Theta does that, maybe break out there, come back here, and then have that big jump. You probably are going to look at about, let's just have a look here, most likely from where we are now up to that level of about 140%, but then it keeps going. It keeps going. So I'm not saying that go and buy Theta now, but 1, 2, or 3%, a small percentage. Make sure you've got some Theta. Now, I don't regard this as 1,000% coin yet. So the top 5, they still stayed 1,000%. I'm still validating data on Theta. We've got very good credible data. But if you hold Theta, guys, don't sell it. Just keep it for now. Okay, so I'm quickly going to get into XRP. Let me just clear this. XRP is perfectly on track. There's no issue with XRP. Expect XRP to go upwards into about 31 cents. Guys, we are going to have a little bit of a drop here. I believe that there could be about a 21 cent XRP coming. If it doesn't happen, don't hit me on the head. But most likely, we could get about 24. I've got orders placed at 21 cents, just in case it flash drops downwards. You have to remember that there could be a lot of flash drops. It drops, it executes your order. Like I had an order last night on Litecoin. Let me just have a look here, Litecoin. Like literally down to this bottom here of 64, 64.54. I didn't believe it's going to touch that. Woke up this morning, bang, orders were gone. So you see these little flash drops. It can happen in XRP as well. So place little orders there. You may get it lower. But look, guys, also now, just for those people who are not day traders and you don't really know what to do, if you don't know what to do, buy XRP now and just hold it. Because what is coming next, guys, is a big move. You never told me you bought XRP.
I did. I bought some.
Sneaky. Where do you get all the money from? Okay. Now that's good, Wendy. That's a good buy. XRP is good, guys. You can do it now. I'm not going to buy XRP right now. I'm going to wait for this uptrend. I'm going to buy at the next dip. As a matter of fact, I want to give you an alternative count here. I believe that we could go up here, maybe a little bit higher. It drops here, goes sideways, and have another spike up here, a big spike and then drop, and then go again. So regardless of what XRP does, you know, it's going to move upwards. One of the big problems with XRP is this, guys. All over social media, people are now saying, buy XRP, buy XRP, it's going to go to 1,000%. Somehow people got hold of our data. Somehow other people figured maybe something out on their own. But this is the problem. If everybody in the world are posting these things up now on social media, guess what could potentially happen? So I just want to warn you here. And don't post our data to anybody. Keep it in our team. Guys, we spend thousands of dollars to track IP addresses. We know when a certain bank in New York accesses our data, what do? My team goes and we block them and we send their money back. What do we do when certain guys in California that are these so-called big trend forecasters, when they access our data, we block them. Now he hasn't got access, which we block the entire area where he lives. Guess what? If he sets an IP address mask, we can track him too. So we block him. So we spend thousands of dollars, guys, and many man hours to block people not to have our access, especially financial institutions. Now, guess what could potentially happen now with XRP? Because everybody thinks XRP is going to go up. What if XRP goes up here, comes down, and just goes sideways? It's a banker's coin, guys. This is what these guys will do. They don't want the price to go up. Why does a bank that uses XRP want the price to go up? Think a little bit here for a second. Because the bank buys XRP, they uses XRP to make transactions. So in effect, they burn a little bit of one XRP. The more transactions they make, the more coins they burn. Now, if the price goes up to $10 XRP, the new banks that come on board have to buy XRP at $10 now, where they could buy it here at 25 cents. This is why I say, guys, be very quiet on social media. And for me personally as well, I've got a team that I work with, and we are going to go silent on Twitter and on social media. We're not going to post these things out anymore, because we see suddenly a change in XRP where it could potentially go flat. And I see banks working on this. But for now, guys, we see a uptrend. So there's still a confirmed uptrend. I don't want to make you negative or give you negative advice, guys, but just be smart about not giving any information to anybody. Now, for me personally, I'm going to buy if it reaches around about here, this low point here, closer to 21. If it doesn't, I'll just simply buy. And I will warn you guys, don't worry about it. You know, which we are checking this. If this is not going to break out, we will have an emergency meeting, and bang, you'll know about it. And we simply move out of XRP and we get into another coin. But for now, remember this, we see a 21-day uptrend. Let's go on to DigiByte quickly. DigiByte exactly the same, guys. We have this little bit of a drop here, but we're going to head up into this level here, which is about a 56% rise. It could go higher. Now, how high can DigiByte go? It can go the same height as Litecoin. When Litecoin hits the top and you see it start turning around, that is the high for all coins. No coin will go higher. Litecoin is the coin to watch, if I'm correct with this breakout. Now, again, if we look at DigiByte, it's going to come down back here. It's going to form a lower point. This one for sure in my data shows a lower point, even lower at this little point there. So we look at about 0.7 somewhere down here. Regardless where you buy, even if you buy here now, you can simply hold it because DigiByte is moving upwards. What you may want to do is at that high point, when Litecoin hits that high point, you sell some DigiByte, you know, 10, 20, 30%, you sell it, and you come back here on the bottom, you buy it, and you've added extra DigiByte to your stash. That's what you want to do. Just for those people who's wondering, what is this $500 in here? This is what we call farming, guys, just for those new people who don't know. If you buy 500 DigiByte here on the bottom, when it hits that top, you still have 500. If you spend $40 to buy the DigiByte, your value now is $80. Remember, because it doubled in value. That's a 100% move. If we assume now 100% move. When you take that $80 and you bring it down here to the bottom there, here you go, you bring it down there, that's $80. If you take the $80 and you buy DigiByte at the same price here again, you now have 1,000 DigiByte. Remember, because you double the $500 or the 500 DigiByte. If you now ride the wave upwards with your 1,000 up there and you sell it there again, you now have $160 worth of DigiByte. Effectively, you doubled your money, doubled it again to 160. That is farming. Okay, just that people know. Let's quickly get into NEO. NEO is just doing a really great uptrend here, as expected. We expect this actually to, I think in last week's webinar, we said that we see these crossing over. So you're going to see that this will start crossing upwards, and expect a little bit of a nice move here from NEO. The same with EOS. Let's quickly get into Populous. Populous is right down there at the bottom, in my opinion. Now, remember I said I'm not going to buy yet, because what I want to see the 3B algo move upwards above the 2B algo. Okay, so I want to see that. As soon as that changes, and it could change rapidly, guys, in the next week, so then it will become a good buy. Now remember this, I've still got Digibyte at $1.60. I bought Digibyte at $5. Sorry, not Digibyte, Populous, PPT. So I haven't sold that. It's going to go back, guys. It's going to go to $5, $10, $20, $30, and it's going to go back to 100 again. So watch for an entry point in PPT when you see a strong break upwards on the daily. What you want to see a break of the 22 MAE, the MS52, and you want to see it break the 3B algo. At that point there, that's a good buy. If you see something like this, a strong move upwards. So just wait, don't buy yet, but it is becoming a good buy. As a matter of fact, I may even, if Litecoin makes the move upwards, then I'll start buying PPT. But remember, PPT is just not going to go back upwards. It must come back down again and then shoot back up. You can always buy there on the drop. I think we've gone into most of the coins now here. With regard to Bitcoin Cash, guys, just remember that Bitcoin Cash last year, when Bitcoin was 10,000 in June last year, Bitcoin Cash was 2,000. Look at the price now. Bitcoin Cash is 290. It is going to play catch up, so it's coming. Ethereum quickly. Ethereum is going to do a breakout upwards again. Let's have that's the 4-hour chart. Let's look at the day chart. What I'm still waiting for, guys. Sorry, let me just.
Good thing I didn't follow.
So what we're still looking for here, guys, is I'm looking for that 4-day uptrend, which is now happening. It will now happen. So the next one is 1 day upwards, 2, 3, 4, landing in this blue box. Then we have a pattern of advances. A pattern, a POA, whenever you see that, that's a pattern of advances. There's nothing more than a symmetrical triangle or a bullish flag pattern. It will consolidate and then break upwards. Now, look at this. There is the change as well of the what people call the death cross. You know, I don't think it's going to go downwards. Did I talk about the death cross? I can't. Oh, okay. What you can see here, guys, is that if you look at Litecoin, let's go back here. See, this was the golden cross. Okay, just go and study golden cross, put it in Google, and you'll figure out what it is. Now, when that moves above, see that green line, the dark green line, then we saw Litecoin move up. Now look at that, follow that green line there, and you'll see here that they are crossing, and that green line is actually crossing downwards, and therefore many analysts all around the world are saying that Litecoin is going to go to around about $20. There's even people that say that it can go to around about $5 before it then moves upwards. Now, we are saying that is not possible because, and I'm just showing you what my data is showing, you know. I mean, we are probably the only people in the world calling for this breakout in Litecoin. It's a terrible call to make, guys. Just understand it from my perspective, because if you're wrong, you've got a lot of egg in your face. But I'm just telling you, this is what I see in the data, and I like to follow my data. My data has made me a heck of a lot of money. I don't want to say how much, but a lot. Now, when you move upwards here, we believe that what's going to happen with this cross is that the red line is going to come down, go back upwards there, and it will turn into a golden cross again. This will be a short-lived death cross. I don't like the word death cross, you know, because there's no death in crypto. So let's call it the positive magnitude changer.
Positive magnitude changer. Where do you come up with this?
I don't know. Let's just call it that. It's better than a death cross.
How about just bullish?
Marius,
Bullish
that's-
cross, Marius.
That's pretty catchy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bullish,
Boris,
bullish.
I love it. The bullish cross.
Yeah.
So guys, we don't see the market breaking down. You know, this is where the men are separated from the chickens. And excuse the fact for the ladies on the call, I just mean men in general terms. We have to be so sensitive what we say now, you know, in these worlds. But at least, guys, nobody on this call, we're not sensitive people. We say it like it is.
Well, that was good. Captain Bob said, taking a nap cross.
Yeah, exactly, guys. So what did we not go through? I just want to give you guys quickly the long-term view. Did I go through this? I don't think I did. The long-term view for Bitcoin is still very positive. I don't want to get into the granular cycle now, but there's a video we did last year as well as the beginning of this year, guys, for the new people that are here. Go and have a look at the granular cycle where we show where Bitcoin is going to go in the year 2020, 2024, up to 2037. Now, it's really remarkable if we come here to this point, and I'm not going to go from the bottom here and show you all those things, but let's start here. This year on 15 December 2018 was the low. And then we had this first leg. The first leg is now completed. Now we in this leg between 1 and 2. That 1 and 2, as of probably 4 hours ago. No, not 4 hours ago. As of the other day, let me just have a look here. I'll tell you exactly where. There we go. On 29 August 2019, that was the low of point number 2. You can literally go and put that in there. I don't believe that we are going to get lower. Remember yesterday I said that this could drop into, this could be a big flash drop into this level here, touching that line here. Remember I posted that on Twitter, or not Twitter, on Telegram. That drop here is stopping there. It's not going to go lower. So that point number 2 is this point number 2. See that point there? That's the low, guys. We're now heading upwards. So now the next leg here is leg number 3. Look at the profit that you made from here to there. If you only made 50% profit, that's fine. If you made 100%, that's good. If you made 200, most people would have made about a 200% profit, maybe 350. There's one guy here, I don't know if he's on this call. He started here on the bottom with 54 Litecoin. He only traded Litecoin. If I tell you how much Litecoin he has now, guys, it's staggering. It's over 1,000. He only traded Litecoin. And this is a message for all of us. You know, don't hold hundreds of coins. Hold 5 or 6 and specialize in one. A good coin to specialize in for your day trading or week trading or 3-day trades is Litecoin. Always make sure that your goal is to increase the number of coin holdings you have. The dollar value is going to take care of its own. The dollar value of Bitcoin is now $10,000. The dollar value of Bitcoin is going to be $62,000. Don't worry about this US dollar thing. Make sure that you increase your coin holdings for the next year or 2. There's a big probability that we're going to come to this 5th wave year. Remember I said that the end of the year cycle is about June, July next year. There's a probability that we could get another extended cycle. Number 6, number 7. Guys, there's such good things happening. And people are going to make stunning money here. Stunning. And some coins 500%, some coins 1,000%, some coins a lot more. So that's just a big overview, just to calm you down, your nerves down. Always be patient, because the patient people or investor is going to make a ton of money. Remember Warren Buffett. Yeah, I am. Remember Warren Buffett. He's been patient. Okay, Theta. Okay, we've gone through Theta. Clay, did you have a question on XRP? I've got Clay, Harpreet. Yeah, and then just with regard to, yeah, Oh, okay. And then just with regard to KBC, guys, a perfect time to get out of KBC is somewhere around here. See, there's a big move happening here in Litecoin, but then we're going to drop after 15 September. Remember we said between 10 and 15 September, that is the change of the date. So going after 15 September into the end of the month, there's going to be a big spike upwards. At that point, we see KBC hitting about 12 cents. That's a perfect time if you want to get out, take your profits and move KBC into better coins. Unfortunately, the problem with KBC is that they're losing market sentiment and they're losing the favor of people around the world because of their bad customer service. Terrible service. If I give that kind of service at Bitcoin Trend and Forecast to my people all around the world, I won't have a business in a month. People don't deserve bad service. So KBC, terrible service. And I think that is hitting them really, really bad. The other thing is also, I truly believe that they should have come out, you know, by us just being able to convert 1 gram or 100 KBC into 1 gram of gold per day. I mean, say again? Oh, okay. By just to be able to convert 100 KBC into 1 gram of gold is not enough for me. You know, who can live on 1 gram of gold? 1 gram of gold is 50, 60 cents. Now, in saying that, I had a call with Tony de Gouveia about a week ago, in this week actually, somewhere, Monday, I think. And there are positive things coming. The company is going to start announcing something on 15 September. Whatever that announcement is, when it comes out, Tony had to sign an NDA. He couldn't really tell me what it was. But whatever that announcement is, we will evaluate what it is. But guys, my recommendation is if you still hold KBC, get it out at 12 cents. If you want to sell 10, 20, 50%, I still hold a lot of KBC because I'm thinking longer term. Okay? So that's just with regard to KBC. Guys, is there anybody else here with anything else?
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
This is Jeff. I'm from the U.S. Boston area. I just signed up with you guys a couple of weeks ago, and so I just wanted to gather any input you might have for people in the U.S. because I have a few coins, but it seems to me that there's a big shift. I think you said around mid-September that's going to happen, and I think that might be because our trading options, people like myself, I'm a student first of all. I just happen to make some money by trading during the day, preferably Bitcoin. Our options and exchanges are going to be they're being taken away systematically. Binance is gone, Bitfinex is gone, Bakkt is coming in. There's litigation with XRP and Trump.
Okay, Jeff, are you still there?
That are no longer. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah. What is your question?
What
He's got a bad connection.
He might be on Wi-Fi or a bad connection.
Okay, Jeff, what I've done, I've just muted you. I think I get your question. The question could be, what exchanges should we use? Sorry, Jeff, I'm just going to mute you again.
Marius, he's an American, just like me. I'm in Texas, though. He's asking, what exchange do you suggest for Americans to use? Because we no longer have like Binance, or not, yeah, Binance and several others. We've got to.
Actually, I just want to clarify that is actually not true anymore. They have taken that restriction back from Binance. U.S. customers are still allowed and will be allowed to use Binance.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was just about to say that now, guys. Look, guys, be smart about these things as well, you know. Follow the rules and regulations in America. When they stop people to get into certain exchanges, it's not going to be long-lived. It's just the American government is trying to control the American population. Unfortunately, America has been branded the land of the free, but it's more like a communist country, in my opinion, at this moment, because there are so many restrictions on the country. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I lived in America for a while. For goodness sake, I'm married to an American. Yeah, lucky me. Happily married. I found the gemstone. Okay. So America is a fantastic country. I just love America. You know, when I lived there in Houston, Texas, man, I tell you, it's the most beautiful place. And Las Vegas and all those places, and the people are just awesome. I don't know where all these. Anyway, let me not get into politics, but anyway, guys, America's a great country. Now, America just. Yeah, go ahead.
In Houston. What years were you in Houston?
Oh, gee, I lived there, worked in the oil and gas industry. Let me just think now. When was that, Wendy? 2008, 9, 10, part of 11.
Okay.
Yeah, lived in Piney Point. Are you from Houston or?
I lived when you were there from 2009 to 2010. I lived in right next to the medical center because I was a fellow at MD Anderson, Southside Place, kind of like a small city.
Oh, Southside.
Right.
Is that the medical center, the Bentop Hospital you're talking about, or?
No, MD Anderson. It's on.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
Bel Air Boulevard.
Oh, Bel Air. Such a nice place.
It was beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot bad traffic though.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Okay. The exchanges to use, guys. If we look at this now, we get Binance there, Hotbit. You can go to Abra, Kraken. These are the 10 that we actually recommend. Bitstamp is a very old and trusted. I don't know. Can you Americans get Bitstamp?
I haven't. I don't remember if I checked.
And you also get Coinbase Pro or Coinbase Commercial. Right. Remember, there's a Coinbase Commercial as well. You can use Bittrex.
We have Bitstamp.
Yeah, Bitstamp, cool. Yeah. So there's a lot to go through. One of the other things that you may want to do as well, if you are trading a huge amount of money, only if you are trading a huge amount of money, guys, go here under.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's there. If you go here on the website, click on Bitcoin Fund. If you go down here to the bottom, there's a link there. Click on that one and you'll go into Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown in Australia. Let me just mute everybody here quickly again. If you go here to Caleb and Brown, just click on that link and it's going to open you an account. Create an account with Caleb and Brown. I've got people that shift $1 million through Caleb and Brown. You can simply give them the instruction and say, sell my Litecoin and put it in cash. They will put it in cash in an Australian account. So just open your account there. They will actually give you a discount as well. It's we associated with them. Anyway, you can just go there. So let me get back to these exchanges. Now, one of the other things is try not to use an IP blocker, you know, where it blocks your IP address so that you can actually access. I don't think you can access Bitfinex. Can you access Bitfinex from the US? I don't think you can. Huh? Is there some argument going on with the?
You can technically, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah. Now, what I heard is I spoke to the guy that I have contact with at Bitfinex, one of the executives. I can't elaborate too much, but the New York Attorney General, they've got big problems there with America, you know. it's America trying to control Bitfinex, and Bitfinex refuses. Let me probably not say it, but Bitfinex is a great exchange to use. They're not the evil empire as the New York Attorney General tries to make out. You know, I don't understand why all these. I don't want to get political again, but I don't understand why certain groups in America of certain political parties want to stop people from investing in cryptos. It bogs my mind. I don't understand it.
It's Wall Street. That's all it is. It's just Wall Street.
It
Money.
must be. It must be. You know. Okay, cool,
Mark.
guys. Let's yeah, go ahead.
Question. Can we get back to Litecoin if you don't mind? I have a question about that, and then Ethereum as well.
Yeah, I'll leave it on the 4-hour. Yeah, let's go.
So Litecoin, you're saying we're expecting a move up and then down. So we could farm it a few times here. When it jumps from current price of around 65, we're talking 118 max. You could get that up there. And then we expect a pullback and then again another bounce. So this looks like at least two ups and downs that, you know, farming opportunity there.
Yeah. Now, remember last week, Boris, we spoke about this, and then I drew. This was actually drawn in last week, where we said that we're going to follow this green line here, and we're going to stay on that level there for a while, and then we're going to have a bit of a drop here. That's a perfect time to do farming, and it's going to be right here on top of this. These two, the 50 and the 200 MA cross, either the middle or the top. I think the lower level, and then we see it going upwards back to this level, maybe a little bit higher. This could be a little bit higher high. Let me just see my data here just for that. Just give me a second. Sorry, just give me a second. I just want to see if that's going to be. Oh yeah, absolutely. This one here. Okay, this is actually drawn a little bit wrong here, but the pattern is still there. If you want the real data now, you're going to see this will be a high, and then it drops into this low. Then it does a little bit lower point here. Okay, and then it drops into this point here. So so just follow me for a second here, and then it goes here to a higher point here, a lower point again, and then a higher point, and bang, there comes that drop. And then
I guess I'm thinking it's worth you know, trying to go for $10 swings, or simply, you know, get out at least 115, for example, and then wait for 80 or lower to pick it up again. That's what I'm kind of thinking here, and then do this one more time. So essentially, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Well, 2 buys, 2 sells is what I see, which allows you to farm quite a bit. Okay, all right, thank you. On Ethereum, if you would, Ethereum, there it sounds like we shouldn't do anything. Essentially, you're in and you just stay in for now. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, so Litecoin, you can farm that. You go up and down. Just look at that cheat sheet. With regard to Ethereum, guys, Ethereum is actually a really remarkable crypto. What you're going to do now is you buy and you hold. You won't necessarily be able to farm Ethereum. I predict that Ethereum from this bottom point here is only going to go up about 35%, around about there. Similar to Bitcoin. Litecoin goes up a little bit higher. Now, remember I said we are looking for this 4-day uptrend. I want to see now from tomorrow, Friday, American time, we want to see a day uptrend, another big trend, and bang, it goes upwards. And it stops here. Let me just bring up the Ethereum analysis here. Yeah, at this point here, it actually goes sideways for a while, and then it breaks out upwards. So Ethereum is the one that you really want to keep. And let me just see what happens then. Okay. I'll just give you a little bit further analysis on this. So when it goes up here, actually goes a little bit longer here. It makes kind of like a loop. Then it's got, sorry, I just want to put these points there, 400, 560. See, our algorithm data just kicks out numbers. I'm just trying to, okay. So it goes like this, a big spike, it goes like that, and then it hovers around here, and then it breaks through. So this is what you can expect from Ethereum. Now remember, this is only for visual purposes, guys, to give you an idea of what we see, what is coming. If I put those figures in there.
And the time frame is year end, correct? On Ethereum?
No, this is not, the time frame is not correct.
Okay.
As I say, guys, this is not, the time frame is not correct. I'm just giving you the visual of what it looks like. Okay, the time frame, we are getting very short now. We've got September, October, November, December. Now, from my analysis, October, November, and December is going to be stunning months, stunning. We could go sideways a little bit, and look what happens with Litecoin here. Can you see here where we have this time frame upwards? This could perhaps also be the correct time frame, because here is the next 53-day algorithm cycle. Now remember here, every 53 days, if you look at Litecoin, every 53 days we have a big spike upwards. We do expect something here as well, where we could go up, it can come down, and then it makes even a bigger high. But that is still yet to play out. This D could go sideways, maybe up till 26, 27, 28, the end of the month, September, and then we have the breakout. So remember what I said, nothing will happen big in all of crypto unless we get past 15 September. And let me put that in. I think it was about 15 or 16 September, somewhere around here. Nothing big is going to happen. After 15 September, we have a consolidation phase, and then a big breakout in all of cryptos. So this can contract as well. So Boris, this is what I also say, we follow the pattern, not the dates. Nobody in the world have got any dates accurate. Nobody can do it.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What happens on 15 September to cause all this?
Well, there are factors that I don't want to get into now, and one of the reasons is because I still want to validate a lot of these things. The second reason is, if I give all the information out now, we don't really need to know all that information, but if I give the data out, I don't want to give other analysts the information that we have. But what I can tell you is that in our algorithm, we've got certain set rules. Remember, an algorithm is only a computerized set of rules. And in that set of rules, we have sentiment. We have even now an indicator, what is the possibility of a worldwide war? What is the possibility of a war in Africa? We've even now put in what is the possibility of a trade war and what are the effects of that. So we are working on the algorithm and changing a lot of things there. But what I can tell you, what we don't think is going to happen, we don't believe that there's going to be a financial collapse that pushes this up. I know many analysts say there's a big financial collapse coming and that's going to push cryptos up. Guys, no, if there's a big financial collapse, cryptos won't rise. Cryptos will stagnate or drop or disappear. This is what will happen. You know, this is what we see in our data. There will be a rattle in the world stock markets. There will be a rattle of arguments and fighting between America and China. And remember this, the tariffs are actually really good for America, because America has been annihilated by China. So those things will work out positive for America. But apart from that, is like I know I've been asked that question before in about 2, 3, or 4 webinars back, and we just said that we don't really want to comment on that at this moment.
Morris, I have a question for you about XRP. Hypothetically speaking, when you're talking about the 20-day, if it does move up 20 days consecutively or 21 days, after that 21st day, do you see it coming back down, or do you see it just staying at a new price level?
Gee, how do I answer that one? Okay, XRP, when it breaks, when it starts moving, we believe it goes up for about 21 days. At that point, it drops back. We get out on 21 days. But I'm not going to show you exactly now how far it drops back and what happens there. You know, guys, we just want to keep that information private for now. Not that I don't want to show you, but I don't think we need all that information right now. You know, it's still 30, 40 days perhaps from today. And, you know, remember last time when I showed what's going to happen in the future, then people ask me all these questions. Yeah, but what's going to happen then? It's still in the future, you know, and then people post it out as well. So, and again, guys, I really ask you, keep everything confidential. I mean, my team spend hours and hours and hours, man hours. You can ask Wendy, you know, where people post this data on social media, on Facebook and everywhere. Then we have to contact them, get it off, and then some people don't want to take it off. So keep it all private. Okay, Harpreet, Boris, Eric, and Rodney has got questions.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's first, guys? Just okay, Harpreet, go ahead.
Yeah, good day, Marius. First of all, you doing such a wonderful work, mate. Just in regards to XRP, right? You've pretty much answered each and everything. I was just being just strategically thinking of the future. Whenever it breaks out, just give an update on Telegram channel so that 21 days can be like calculated. Yeah. So how far is that in the end of September? It's likely to break out, or in first week of October?
The first coin to break out in our data is Ethereum, and then we're going to follow them in sequence, because we then see, I think it's Litecoin. I just need to go back. I can't remember the sequence now, but Digibyte, I think, is the last one. It's XRP and then Digibyte, I think. Digibyte is the last one to break out. It does break out. It goes sideways upwards. So with regard to XRP, there's a little bit of additional data that we're just looking at now. And but when it breaks out, Harpreet, I promise we can actually do a nice webinar perhaps at that time, or just a update on the blog posts maybe, because that's the quickest way to keep data secure on our blog posts. But we'll warn people. And remember, if I say 21 days, the 21-day period is the period that we are going to watch. When we get closer to that point, I will recommend that we get out of XRP. And then we just move into Litecoin or Ethereum at that point. But remember, just for the person who asked me that question, although XRP drops, there's a point after that where we get back in again for a short time again. So, but we just want to allocate money towards coins that will move. You don't want to stick your money into coins and just hold them there, like the old hodl mentality. You know, oh, I'm going to buy XRP and hold it for 10 years. Yeah. Okay, so which is the next question? Boris, we've got Boris, Eric, and Rodney, then Frank and Doug.
Yeah, you already answered two questions I had on Ethereum, but really quick on the Bitcoin. While all this happening and Litecoin is going up and Ethereum continues to go, what happens to Bitcoin? I missed that. Is Bitcoin going to stop at that point and fall a little bit? And if that's the case, then what about exchanging through a trading pair into Bitcoin to pick it up if you
Yeah,
make money on
that's a good
Bitcoin
point. Yeah.
or
Look, guys,
XRP?
yeah, with regard to Bitcoin, what we do is we follow this pattern. We said that, okay, let me just move that aside. Let's take it step by step. The first move that we want now is this move. We want to go up there and it may come down. So let's say that is the first move. We just play that move now. That is what we expect. Now, next week, there will be ample time to discuss what we're going to do here. But just remember now, Boris, that move is only about a 30%. See there? Litecoin is 100%. Now, eventually, I believe that Bitcoin is going to go up the 100% because it will go from 10,000 where it is now to 20,000. The reason Bitcoin is going to do smaller percentages is because that seesaw, remember the dominance? The altcoins are starting to take over now. And the altcoins will go up a lot more where Bitcoin will not go up. So I hope that answers the question there.
Yes, it does. And yeah, dominance is what, at 72%, something like that right now? So 73, yeah, it's huge. So at some point, alts should be moving against Bitcoin, and that would be a good time. Yeah, thank you, Marius.
Yeah, we give the dominance time till the end of this month. After the 15th, there's big changes happening. Okay,
Yeah.
Eric, Rodney, Frank, and then Doug. Eric, if you don't ask the question, we're going to charge you for $40. No, I'm just kidding.
He wants me to ask you to check the Bitcoin Cash BTC chart, the 4-hour chart with a line from July 15th to August 9th on the bottom for a trend line. His microphone isn't working.
Bitcoin Cash or?
Bitcoin Cash. The 4-hour chart with the line.
He's probably meaning Ethereum then.
He said BCH, Bitcoin.
Yeah, but we don't have a 4-hour chart for Bitcoin Cash. Is he just asking us or?
Yes, he is saying Bitcoin Cash.
We can probably move. So what is the question then? Eric, feel free just to come on, unmute yourself and just ask the question.
He says he wants me to ask you to check the Bitcoin Cash chart, the 4-hour chart with line from July 15th to August 9th on the bottom for a trend line. I don't know. Is there a trend line?
On Bitcoin Cash, there was never a algorithm trend line. Remember, we never had one. But if you were to draw one, you can probably say it hits there, it touches about that point there. So that is probably the trend line, Eric. But I don't know what the question is.
Yeah, I don't know what about the trend line he did for the question.
Yeah, remember this here. Yeah, from this point here, about 29 August, you can see that that we're in an uptrend. As a matter of fact, this is actually a very good example, actually, of Bitcoin Cash breaking above this red line. And see this, this is actually what we call the death cross. Now, you don't really want to see it on the 4 hours, but it's breaking above that and is now soon going to break above the 22 MAE. This is a strong coin.
He wants you to look on Bitcoin Cash BTC, not USD.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, we haven't got that. Look at the Bitcoin Cash versus BTC charts. We don't have algorithm analysis on that because it's too complicated to write a code that can actually work those figures out. It's extremely complicated, guys. We spent in the beginning of the year, we spent about 2 months just trying to do it. Eventually we gave up because, you know, my guys were spending 50 hours a day. We can't do that.
Next question is Rodney.
Okay, Rodney.
And then Frank. And then Doug.
Rodney, do you want to come and ask a question? Rodney, Frank, and Doug. Okay, guys, is there anybody else with any questions then?
I'm here, Marius, Frank here.
How are you doing, Frank?
Oh, good, thanks. My question is back to Litecoin. So currently we're at 65 approx, and it's going to go to 104 to 118. So my question is, back along, you mentioned your 46% rule. So if I take 118 as the top before it drops again, and you subtract 65, you get 53. Multiplied by 46% is 24, plus 65 is 89. So is that a kind of conservative target for a sell price, or how would you work that?
Absolutely, Frank. You know, my conservative price is actually here. See there when it hits that that point there, which is $100. $100 also happens to be a very big resistance. It's a psychological number for people to buy at that level. So, so what you need to do, guys, when you trade this, you simply don't wait for the high point, because you're not going to know where that high point is. So what you do when you get here to $100, you sell some Litecoin. When you get to 115 or 105, you sell some Litecoin. 107, 111, 118, you sell, and bang, suddenly the market starts dropping, and you wait and you come back and you buy in the bottom. And when it is somewhere here on the bottom, you do exactly the same. Now you buy at 65, 67, 68, 69, 70, bang, you're good. So that's a good rule to use, Frank.
Okay, thanks, Marius.
Tell Doug to speak up.
Yeah, we're just waiting. Guys, let me, this will be the end of the presentation. I'm just going to stop the recording. Thank you for everybody that has been online. We wish you the best for this week.